Welcome to Module 5 of our Intermediate Financial Accounting class. This module, more financial statements. We're going to look at the balance sheet, also called the Statement of Financial Position, and the Statement of Cash Flows, also called the Statement of Cash Flows. We're doing it from an intermediate standpoint. And in this intro video, I'm going to just show you some of the key additions to our intermediate level balance sheet. So of course, you'll recall the balance sheet is the summary of the company's assets, liabilities, and shareholders' equity accounts. And you'll recall in intro accounting, we split our assets and liabilities into current and long-term, with our distinguishing feature being typically a year. If the asset is expected to last for more than a year, it's a long-term asset. If the asset is expected to last for less than a year, it's current. And the same for liabilities. If I have a phone bill, that's accounts payable, that's a current liability, where a mortgage is a long-term liability. Equity, we don't split in that way. This intermediate course, we actually further distinguish some details in our assets and actually some new equity considerations here. So here are the new considerations that we'll need to be worried about. For assets, we don't only distinguish are they current or long-term, but within long-term, we can have long-term investments, which we didn't really explore in intro. We will explore more in future chapters here, but they're going to appear on the balance sheet, which of course they are assets, they're long-term in nature, but they're their own category, right? They just don't go under long-term assets. There's like long-term investments. There's PPE, which stands for property, plant, and equipment. We did have that in intro. And last, we'll explore more about intangible assets, things like patents and trademarks, things like that. And I guess I could put a fourth category here. There are other long-term assets as well. So those categories are going to appear on intermediate accounting balance sheets, and they look a little different from how we did it in intro. Liabilities largely unchanged as current and long-term. There'll be new accounts to be introduced in the course, but just in terms of laying out our balance sheet, nothing really new there. In equity, we bring to the table the concept of additional paid-in capital. That's for American viewers. Canadian, and I think the rest of the world, we have a concept called contributed surplus. That's where when our common shares are issued and they have a par value, which is an unusual concept, if the company pays more than par, the shareholders pay more than par, there's this account called additional paid-in capital, so we have to keep track of it. And again, Canadians would call it contributed surplus. The other concept, and this will follow us quite a bit through this course, is the concept of other comprehensive income that we introduced last chapter, and that leads to accumulated other comprehensive income in the shareholders' equity section of our balance sheet. So remember those unusual kind of revenues and expenses that companies say we don't want them included in net income, and standard setters have agreed they're sufficiently unusual that they don't count in our net income. We put it in other comprehensive income. Well, at the end of the year, net income goes into retained earnings. Other comprehensive income goes into this balance sheet account called accumulated other comprehensive income, AOCI. That's a new concept on intermediate accounting balance sheet. So let's have a look at an intermediate accounting balance sheet. Maybe I'll just do half and half. With our assets, the current assets largely the same, largely what you would have seen before, but now rather than having one category called long-term assets, we're going to have at least three: investments, long-term investments, PPE, property, plant, and equipment, and intangible assets. We could also have a fourth one, other. In terms of liabilities and equity, you can see liabilities, I didn't really highlight anything. I think they're largely the same as what we would have had in an intro class. But when we get down to the equity section, something you're going to find is when we discuss our common shares, we note the par value, if there is par. If not, no par. We say no par. The number of shares issued and the number authorized, that's going to appear on the face of our balance sheet. We'll also have this additional paid-in capital. That's, again, for Americans. Contributed surplus for my fellow Canadians. That's the amount people have paid above that par value for their shares. And last, there's the account AOCI, accumulated other comprehensive income. It I treat it as like a retained earnings for OCI, retained earnings for other comprehensive income, but you'll see that in your shareholders equity section of your balance sheet. As always, though, the best way to learn new financial statements is to prepare them yourself. So that's what this chapter is all about. A lot of chance for you to prepare the balance sheet with this new fancier format, and also statement of cash flows, which hasn't changed too much from intro, but we'll have lots of examples of those too. All right. Thanks for watching, and I can't wait to get started. The next video in our series is right up here, and if you want a supercut of all of the videos in this series, that's the one down below.